So I have my own BurbNBougie subreddit community, and someone left this post for me yesterday. She said, I married a narcissist. I had babies by a narcissist, baby trapped. One is already showing signs of narcissism, the other is autistic. I found out autism runs in their family undiagnosed, and the entire clan is narcissistic because of what they see and how they're treated growing up. My question is, do I walk away, save myself, and leave the kids to suffer, or raise my kids with as much isolation from the other parent as the courts allow? It's already difficult. I am too naive and have never been exposed to such evil, and the kids are learning from the other parent and each other. But I don't see a future connection with the baby narcissist. All the things point to gray rocking in adulthood unless psychological intervention works. The autistic baby will be independent enough to thrive in adulthood, but if trends continue, I don't want the current chaos in my home from my adult child. It's already a lot to rebuild after divorce without fighting my kids every day, every hour on doing the right thing because their brains tell them what they want is right. Thanks for thoughts and opinions and coping strategies. Let me say this is not my lane. So I am putting this out there for the wider BurbNBougie community to leave their thoughts. What do you think on this? How do you think she should handle this? Because I haven't a clue. Leaving two kids with a narc, will the courts even allow such a thing? I don't know. So I really don't have any words of wisdom on this one. CJ says, I take the autistic kid and run, let the narcissists enjoy each other's company, but I'm not a very maternal person. I did ask how old they were. She is late 40s. The husband or the man in this one is early 50s, and there is a 5-year age gap for the kids, and both are under the age of 10. And so I was like, okay, we have this information. I'll put this out in a video tomorrow. What should she do? Should she leave by herself? Should she leave with the autistic kid and give that kid a fighting chance? Should she leave both of the kids with the daddy? Y'all go ahead and let me know what you think. So this Reddit thread was archived in the Reddit wiki subreddit. I don't know if it got deleted or what, but this man says, I destroyed my girlfriend's plants in a fit of rage, and I think she may leave me. You know, I've done a nothing reason she left, and what men have done to women's pets and plants is atrocious because women started talking about what they have done to their plants and their pets, and it was like heartbreaking that somebody would do this type of thing. But let's get into this one. He says, okay, I am a longtime Reddit observer, but first time poster. So I apologize if I do anything wrong. I've been in a relationship with the girl of my dreams for almost 7 years. She is the light of my life. We met in college and it was love at first sight for me. She is the most loving, goal-minded, smart, creative, gentle person I know. Our relationship has always been pretty peaceful. Even when we fight, it's not so much fighting as it's just talking out our frustrations and maybe some tears shed. I've had a rough couple of months. I got laid off, rejected from my top choice of grad school, had to dump a huge chunk of our savings into a new car when mine took a crap. Looking back, I think all of this contributed to what happened that night. I, I truly feel like I blacked out. I've never had an episode like this in my life. Last week, we were arguing about some financial decisions that we were trying to come to an agreement on, like she always does when an agreement has drained her for the day. She sighed, rubbed her eyes, stood up, kissed my cheek, and said she was making some tea. We have tea every night, and asked if I wanted some before bed. I always know this is a sign that she can't productively contribute to the argument anymore right now. She needs to refocus and recharge. For whatever reason, I didn't accept it that night. I asked her to sit down so we could continue. I was sick of arguing and wanted to push through until it was over. She responded that she would not be contributing for the rest of the night, and that I am welcome to come to bed whenever I'm ready. She put my tea on the table in front of me and took hers to the bedroom. Something in me snapped. Instead of having tea, I started drinking. I drank maybe once or twice a year. All we had in the house was a bottle of nasty brandy. She has this room in the back of our house that is mostly windows. She has put a lot of time and money into it. It's her plant room. She put new floors and custom shelves that she built herself to hold plants. My girlfriend's plant room has always been her special place. Her career is pretty demanding and does a lot of speaking with important people. And at the end of the day, she is often looking to escape somewhere. She has a bookshelf to keep her favorite books out there and all these cool looking plants. One of them got passed down from like her great grandma or someone, and a lot of them are from other countries. I think she names them, or maybe that's the actual names of the plants. I don't know. Sometimes I go out there to spend time with her, and she would always be wiping the leaves and gushing about the way the light was coming in or how excited she was about a new plant that she was expecting in the mail. Her plant room was probably her most favorite space. The walls literally looked green because she had so many. I don't know. I couldn't really keep up. I just like to be near her. Sometimes I open the blinds from the house to room just to watch her in her rocking chair reading around her plants. Anyway, so I snapped. I literally do not know. I backed my truck up and put every plant in the back, and I took them to the pond a few blocks from our house and dumped them in, still drinking. Amazing, I didn't crash my new truck. I passed out on the couch. The next morning, I got up not remembering a lot until I saw her through the open blinds sitting in the empty room. I immediately ran out there. My stomach hurt thinking about what I have done. Her eyes were so wide and full of tears. She kept taking these shaky breaths and looking around like she was seeing it for the first time over and over. I told her, I'm sorry. She asked what happened. I told her. She asked my great grandma's IV too. I said yes. She did this sob thing. It was really quiet. She's never been a loud crier. Ever since then, my best friend is gone. She goes to work and comes home and sits in the empty room and looks out the window. She looks sad every night. I miss her. I miss her making tea for us before bed. I'm not saying I miss the tea. I'm capable of that myself. I just miss all of the little ways she made my life complete. She was the most full of life I've ever seen a person. Sometimes she just grabbed me as I'm walking by and get up on her tiptoes and kiss me like it was the first time. My actions are killing me. She drifts past me like a ghost when she's near. She doesn't kiss me, doesn't return my affection. I want to start rebuilding her room, but I don't even know where to start. Please, Reddit, help me if there's any hope for me to get my best friend and hopefully my future wife back. I need help. So I've talked about the fact that I have read Lundy Bancroft's Why Does He Do That? And there is a part in there when they talk about when these men supposedly black out. When they black out and they tear up things and they do things, are they only doing things to the other person's stuff? If they're only doing things that destroy somebody else's stuff and not their own, they haven't truly blacked out. They haven't truly lost control because they are in control enough to not destroy their own things. So if they blacked out to the point that they just couldn't remember anything and they just lost control to where they just destroyed everything. Did that include any of his own things? His video games, his sneakers, his car, anything that he values? Did he mess anything up, or was it all the partner stuff, the woman stuff? If nothing of his was touched, he was calculating and he did it on purpose. Do not take any of this BS that he blacked out and lost control. Some of the comments. This reminds me of a case study from Lundy Bancroft's book, Why Does He Do That? Many years ago, I was interviewing a woman named Sheila by telephone. She was describing the rages that my client Michael would periodically have. He just goes absolutely berserk, and you never know when he goes off like that. He'll just start grabbing whatever is around and throwing it. He heaves stuff everywhere, against the walls, on the floor. It's just a mess. And he smashes stuff, important things sometimes. Then it's like the storm just passes, he calms down, and he leaves for a while. Later, he seems kind of ashamed of himself. I asked Sheila two questions. First was, when things got broken, were they Michael's or hers, or things that belonged to both of them? She left a considerable silence while she thought. Then she said, you know what? I'm amazed that I've never thought about this, but he only breaks my stuff. I can't think of one thing he smashed that belonged to him. Next, I asked her, who cleans up the mess? She answered, she does. I commented, see, Michael's behavior isn't nearly as berserk as it looks. And if he really felt so remorseful, he'd help clean up. OP didn't lose control. He made a calculated decision to hurt his girlfriend by destroying something she loves. He is a textbook abuser. And that was particularly what I was thinking about from the book. Okay, this person says, dude, you have to take a serious look at yourself. You didn't boil over and simply raise your voice, slam a door, or break a single object. You spent seemingly upwards of an hour maliciously dismantling and destroying a special place your girlfriend has spent years cultivating over what? Your girlfriend politely excusing herself from an argument that she knew wasn't productive. If I were her, and I don't know how I could, if I were her, I don't know how I could look at you the same way. Your behavior is so vindictive and out of nowhere that is scary. Honestly, I have a hard time believing what you say about something like this never happening before in this relationship. You need to seek counseling for this behavior. Towards the bottom, the OP gives updates on his relationship. It says, I appreciate everyone's comments, even though most of them were along the lines of F you, a hole. Firstly, I want to say I don't disagree with you. At your suggestion, therapy is my first priority tomorrow. Unfortunately, most of you have accurately predicted the outcome of my relationship, which is that it's no longer existent. I will still be doing everything I can to make it right for her. I have deleted the post at the request of my ex-girlfriend. Again, thanks for everyone's time. On his account, he says, I also want to clarify my account is about a month and a half old because I wanted to post a little bit ago for car advice. If you remember in my post having to get a new car, but I ended up just buying a new truck. Trust me, I wish these events were fake. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so there's that. So I just want everybody to take some time, grab that book, Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft, and then really, really sit and think about some of the things that might come across as abusive. And are these people really, really losing control? Think on that, because destroying something that somebody else loves is deeply hurtful and meticulous and calculating. Y'all jump in. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this is a long post and she's already done the update, so I won't put in most of the comments if I even get to them. She says she's 28 and he's 29. She says, I've lost weight and now I want to divorce my husband. Sorry for the long post. I've been married for 5 years and together for 7. We also have a 3-year-old kid. After having the baby, I struggled a lot with losing baby weight and adjusting to being a parent. I also had the baby blues at first, which was tough. I wasn't really focused on my appearance, and instead, I was trying to figure out our new routine and way of life. But then my husband started making these little comments about my body and how I should start working out and wearing makeup again. It made me feel really awful, and I worried that he might start looking elsewhere because we weren't being intimate anymore. He even suggested hiring a nanny so I can have more time for myself, but I wanted to be there for our baby full time, so I turned down the offer. This made him angry, and he started acting cold towards me. Months went by without any hugs, kisses, romance, or any kind of affection. My self-esteem hit rock bottom. Every time I looked in the mirror, all I saw were the flaws my husband pointed out. By this point, our son was 2 years old. I desperately wanted to win my husband back. I thought if I got in shape again, he would show me love and affection, and our marriage could be saved. I craved his attention so much, and it hurt to see how much things had changed. But you can't force someone to be affectionate. I took matters into my own hands and hired some help. With more free time, I started going to the gym, taking swim classes, which are amazing for your back, by the way, getting my hair and lashes done regularly, and eating healthier. And guess what? I've lost a ton of weight, and I feel amazing. Suddenly, my husband started touching me, kissing me, buying me flowers, and treating me like the complete opposite of how he treated me before. You'd think that would make me feel better, but for some reason it made me feel worse. All I could think about were the hurtful things he said to me when I was at my lowest and how cold he was towards me. I get that you can't force attraction, but why couldn't he just hug me or give me a kiss on the cheek, even when I was overweight? Why couldn't he love me as a human being and the mother of his child? When my self esteem came back, I got really angry at myself for putting up with this behavior for so long. A few days ago, I told him I wanted a divorce. I don't think can move past how badly he treated me. He apologized and promised to change and prove that he could be better. But honestly, I'm not even sure if I could trust him again. What if I gain weight again and have to deal with health issues? Will he treat me like garbage again? I've talked to some friends and family about the whole situation, and some say I should give him another chance, while others say I should leave him. So I'm turning to Reddit for some advice. Am I justified in being upset over this? Do you think it's possible for my husband to change his behavior for the long term, or is a divorce the right move here? Okay, like I said, she already did the update. She says, thanks a lot for all the advice you gave me after my last post. It was really tough to make a decision, especially considering our son. So I sat down with my husband and had a conversation about what happened. And he kept saying sorry, but I asked him if he actually understood why his behavior was hurtful. He just kept saying he was being a jerk, but I felt like he didn't really grasp why it was a problem. So I broke it down for him. I told him that saying I still look pregnant 3 months after giving birth, or calling me a mess because of my dark circles, rolling his eyes when I wanted to show affection, not talking to me for days without any reason, and not wanting to spend time together were all really hurtful. And on top of that, he didn't offer the help so that I could take care of my mental health. Instead, he wanted me to go to the gym to get in shape. When I reminded him of all this, he couldn't even look me in the eyes and didn't say a word. The silence in the room was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. I just don't think he fully understands how badly he treated me. No amount of extra weight can justify that kind of behavior. I wouldn't treat a stranger like that, let alone someone I love. But for the sake of our son, I still offered him couples counseling. And guess what? He refused. He said he was afraid the therapist and I would team up against him and make things worse. We went round and round in circles for almost 3 hours of talking. I finally had enough and told him I wanted a divorce. He tried to convince me that he could prove that he can change, but when I asked him how, he just said I had to have faith in him and to see it for myself down the line. That's just not good enough for me. I told him I was taking our son to my mom's place for the weekend and that we would discuss everything before finalizing the divorce on Monday. He said okay, and we left. But now he won't stop blowing up my phone, begging for a second chance, and telling me how much he loves me and how he made a mistake. It's really disheartening to see how much he changed after we had our son. All I ever wanted from him was love, loyalty, and respect, but he didn't give me any of that in the past few years. I still wanted to give him a chance, but he doesn't want to put in the work to make things better. If it comes to that, I'll be able to raise our son on my own as I'm financially independent and secure. I also have a lot of help, so it'll be okay. I still want him to be part of our son's life and be the best daddy he can be, but I can't be with someone who doesn't love or respect me. I wanted to thank you again for all your support and advice you gave me. I thought my husband was the person I would grow old with, but the universe has other plans for me. It will be really hard to let him go, but I'm hoping it's for the better. Having a baby is hard on your body, your hormones. It's hard. It's hard on you because you don't sleep. Your body is still repairing itself. It takes a good chunk of time for your body to repair after all of the shifting and the chemical changes, the hormonal changes, all of the energy that it took to build that baby and push that baby out. It takes a while. The sleep deprivation doesn't help. If she's a nursing mom, it doesn't help. So when a dad, the dad of that baby is cruel to you, it hits you not just, I mean, you're already going through things hormonally and physically, but it hits your emotions too. And all of this works together and it could culminate into something like what we're seeing with this right here. That man absolutely doesn't deserve to have a wife anymore. He doesn't deserve her. And I'm glad that she got her health together after she got out of that rough patch. Because the first year could definitely be a struggle on you mentally and physically and emotionally. Your hormones are changing, your body is healing, you're just trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. And to have something like that happen will just knock you down, knock you on your butt. So I'm glad that she is doing the part to pick up the pieces of her life and move forward. And I just want to remind all of us women that you should not take pregnancy lightly because it will do a number to you. And that snap back culture that we can see perpetuated isn't reality for everybody. So, if you don't get it back together within 3 months and look like you're ready for a photo shoot within 6 months, don't be pressured and don't feel down on yourself, because that's not the reality of most women. So, for some of the comments, this person says he refused to attend counseling, proves he is more interested in protecting his ego than mending the relationship. Best of luck. You deserve a partner that can show you respect and affection. And then this person says, I have a feeling he only wants her back because getting a divorce is also a bruise to his ego and how he would look to his peers. And yet he hasn't even listed a single way he would change. That's precisely my point. Some of these people would rather just let it end. And then he's going to say things like, I was blindsided. I was blindsided, and he just won't be able to understand. And he's going to blame her weight loss for the marriage ending. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, I'm not going to read all of these comments. This has already been a long one. So you guys can go ahead, just jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, share.